Keep cool, and you'll command everyone. Justinian was a great emperor for the Eastern Roman Empire. He strengthened it greatly, and even at one time reconquered all the old Roman territory lost to the barbarians. I became interested in the Byzantine Empire because they survived the fall of the great Roman Empire that left the world in literally dark ages. They kept the ideas of classical learning, arithmetic, and cleanliness alive. They kept art and their cities beautiful instead of letting them decay and fall apart and go into the ways of barbarian. Justinian was adopted by the emperor. He reconquered Rome. He built Constantinople, a beautiful city, and he codified the great laws, the body of the civil law. Justinian grew up a very uncultured man into a nice, wealthy family. He was a master of the civil life. Since he was born into such a wealthy family, he didn't have to work, so he was able to study all the time, study business, and study the arts. He was known as the sleepless emperor because he was constantly working. He had a very good work ethic, and he studied at all times. He was master of arithmetic, reading and writing. He wasn't adopted by the emperor. His father was born a poor man who worked his way through the military ranks to a well-respected general. His father became wealthy, which allowed Justinian not to work. But his father died when Justinian was a young boy, and the emperor, needing a heir, adopted Justinian. And this interesting side note, Justinian's birth name was Petrus Sabbatius. Sabbatius was his father's name, but he was renamed by his adopted father, Justin, who needed somebody to take on his namesake, and since he was his heir, he named him Justinian. He had many aspirations when he was coming up to the throne. His main aspiration, however, was to reform what was once the great Roman Empire. And to do this, he had to reconquer all the grounds that were lost to the barbarians. And to do this, he had to lay trust upon his great, very loyal general Valerius. Valerius was able to take these continents with no problem. And they also took the lands once owned by the Romans in northern Africa and much of Spain. And eventually they reformed a lot of the Roman Empire. However, this land wasn't held for long. According to Charlie Wells, the newly owned land was lost forever soon after his death because they were taking a lot of pressure from Persia on the east, and the lands were so devastated and lost, and the population was so small because of all the war, that all the land was used for was keeping soldiers there so the barbarians wouldn't take it over. The only reason to hold it was just for the prestige of holding that land, and economically the Byzantine Empire just couldn't do it, so after his death they eventually pulled out and had to reinforce the Persian border. Justinian, he had a huge impact on his world of his day, and even lingers into today. Like the Roman emperors of past times, he was an avid builder who wanted to make his cities just absolutely beautiful. He made Constantinople the star of Western civilization. He created the Hagia Sophia, which is a large dome church that was actually created into the center of the Eastern Orthodox Church. And that today it was eventually sacked by the Muslims, and the Muslims turned it into a mosque, which is a lot of why the Greeks and Turks hate each other today, because the Turks currently are in possession of the Hagia Sophia, and the Greeks want it back because they believe it is rightly theirs, as it was constructed as an Eastern Orthodox church and is now a mosque. Probably his biggest impact on the world, though, was he codified the body of city laws, or civil laws. And these laws that were, as time went on, improved upon and changed slightly by other emperors, but they served as the basic structure, as the ground structure for all laws to be made in the Western civilization. And this was his biggest impact on the world. He's most known for the capture of Rome, but it didn't help his country or his empire. But the body of laws, they actually did good for many years to come. In conclusion, he made the most out of all the privileges he had. He did many great things. He made the people love him after a while. At first they didn't like him, but through his tireless work ethic and making the country beautiful and all the prestige he brought, people learned to love him. He set many hard goals. He wanted to make Byzantine the most prestigious country in the world. He retook all of the Roman lands from the barbarians. He rebuilt Constantinople to be the star of the West. And he made the laws that influenced laws in that area even to today. I would say that Justinian is easily the greatest emperors of Byzantine, and if not one of the greatest emperors of that era of Western civilization.